guys, welcome back. I feel like I haven't filmed a YouTube video in like weeks because I was away and I've been so busy and there's been so many workers in my house. If you guys watch me on Instagram, then you know that filming this specific video took days and days because I had no power and then people were painting in my house. So here I am, and I'm actually super excited about what I'm talking about today, and that's the KGMTL challenge. I talk about it all the time in my Insta story. This is the second time that we'll be doing this, but this time I'm really excited because I had a little bit more time to plan it out and do this, film a YouTube video to sort of give you all the back information, make you guys understand really why I actually want you to eliminate the foods that I'm asking you to eliminate. To begin, I want to just sort of go over how this whole thing became a challenge and what the backstory of it was. So the reality is that I am somebody who is highly affected by everything. I've gone through a lot of shit in my life, more like physically and like with my body. I've lost a lot of weight. I've had a lot of digestive issues. I've had skin issues. I've always suffered from eczema. I'm very prone to allergies and getting rashes. Have one on my neck as we speak because it's like ragweed season in Montreal. And basically through all of that, a lot of you guys have been able to relate to me because some of the issues that I have, you suffer from. And no matter who we are, everyone has some sort of little issue or things that they want to clear up. So I get a lot of questions with people's sort of issues, and then they ask for my advice, like, how would you deal with this? Have you ever dealt with this? What would I do? And my general response is usually like, cut gluten, cut dairy, cut refined sugars. Like, those are my go-to responses. And that's because I genuinely believe that the bulk of our issues come from within. I don't think that it's, I mean, listen, using a topical cream on something like eczema will help, but it's not going to get rid of the root cause. Same thing with cystic acne. If you're dealing with a lot of acne, cystic acne more specifically, it's coming from within. It's not because you used this perfume or this cream. That can cause a reaction, but when you have things that are consistently happening, digestive issues, eczema, psoriasis, any sort of autoimmune disorder, generally it's all coming from within, and it's your body's way of telling you, like, warning, 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 something is imbalanced, something's not working, and then it's sort of up to you to figure out what it is. A lot of people go on medications. As you guys know, I'm very much against that. So the whole point of this challenge is to eliminate certain things, eliminate some of the things that I've eliminated through trial and error that I will go into deeper in this video, and see the difference in your skin, see the difference in your energy, see the difference in any issue that you're having, and see if by eliminating some of these things that the root cause of your issue starts to go away. The reality is that I'm kind of always sort of repeating the same kind of information, like cut the gluten, cut the dairy, don't eat refined sugars, don't eat processed foods, be careful with hydrogenated oils, things of that nature. So one day, one of my followers sort of said to me, "What's up, KG? I have a super good idea. Why don't you do a challenge where we, as your followers, can kind of adapt the lifestyle that you've chosen to live for like a short amount of time and see how we feel?" Number one, I was like, I always feel like, who am I to be telling someone to live the way I live? Like, I'm not some, I don't know, like medical professional or guru. I'm just like a regular person. But with that being said, it has helped a lot of the issues that I have. So I was like, you know what? That's a really good idea. Maybe it will help my followers. Maybe it will help other people, because there's not a day that goes by that I don't get over, I would say, like 20 to 30 questions on how to fix something that somebody's dealing with. And it's always an issue that's really coming from within. It's not like, oh, I have this one pimple that I never get pimples, but I have this one really bad pimple, how to deal with it. Never that kind of question. It's always like, my eczema is really bad, what do I do? My psoriasis is really bad, what do I do? I'm getting breakouts all the time, my hormones are imbalanced, I'm this and that. What I decided to do was, I was like, that's a really good idea. I just sort of tested the idea out with my followers on Instagram, and I kind of put out a post, and I was like, you know, one of my followers suggested that I do this challenge to sort of adapt, you know, the lifestyle that I've chosen to live. Would you guys be interested? The response was like overwhelming. I couldn't believe it. People were like, yes, let's do it. Give us guidelines. Let's go. So that's what we did. I sort of like within like a week or two, we decided, okay, we're going to start the challenge on this date. And then we did it for 2 weeks. And the response that we got, or that I got, I keep saying we because I feel like my followers are like in this with me. So the response that I got from you guys was insane. So many people lost a ton of weight. So many people felt so amazing. Their energy levels were really high. And the craziest thing, and what I really wanted, and I was happy to get the feedback, was that when people would go back to eating things like they would go have something dairy or they would go have something with gluten, the reaction that their body would have to it was like horrible. Like they were like, I felt so sick, I got so bloated, my digestion felt so crazy. So they were actually able to pinpoint and say, wow, I really think that I have a problem digesting this specific food. And being in tune with your body and knowing what you're able to digest, what you're able to absorb properly, and what actually makes you feel good and makes you be your best you, I think is really important, because why would you want to eat something that you may not even realize is making you sick, making you feel uncomfortable, making you hold on to weight that you don't need to be holding on to, so on and so forth. I want everyone to really understand about this challenge is it's not a diet. If you're doing this to lose weight, I mean, do whatever you want, but this is not like a weight loss plan. You will probably lose weight when you cut these things. My intention for this challenge is for you guys to see how you feel, the difference in your skin, the difference in your energy, the difference in your mood, when you eliminate these common things that most people have intolerances to. I don't want you guys to look at this as like, oh my God, how much weight can I lose? Because I just don't think that that's a healthy way to think of things. I want this to sort of be hopefully a lifestyle change for you. My hope is that you do this for 2 weeks and then you're like, wow, I feel so good. Why would I want to go back to feeling like 60% when I feel 100%? So that's really my goal with this. To start, this is completely free. I'm not charging for this. This is very common information. It's just that I'm putting it out there and I'm trying to influence and motivate you guys to try it for your own good. I don't want to make money off of you. Like, that's really not the goal for me. The goal for me is for you guys to feel as good as you can feel, as glowy as you can feel, and as good as I feel, because there was many years where I didn't feel this good. And through all of these lifestyle changes, I feel amazing, and I'm just so happy today in my own skin than I used to be. And I would love to share that journey and that experience with you guys. So that's like the number one thing for me, and the number one thing that I want you guys to understand is that this is not a diet. This is a lifestyle reset that hopefully you will adapt into your daily, every single day life. Diets and challenges online, number one, they charge, and number two, they sort of tell you, okay, breakfast have this, lunch have this, snack have this, whatever. I know that for some of you that might seem a lot easier because it's sort of like easy for you to just follow a plan, go buy those groceries, etc. My goal, again, is for this to be a lifestyle. I want you guys to adapt this into your own lifestyle. We all have completely different schedules. Some of you have kids, some of you have 2 jobs, 1 job, 7 jobs, I don't know, but we all live differently. Some of you live with your parents, some of you live with a boyfriend, a husband. Everyone's life is different, and I don't know what everyone's needs and wants are. So what I basically do is I put out there what you shouldn't eat, and then you adapt it into your own lifestyle. With that being said, I will 100% be posting like my weekly dinners on Instagram. I'm gonna give you guys a lot of inspiration on my KG's Kitchen cooking page of things that are like totally challenge acceptable. So you'll have a lot of content out there, but I don't want this to be like a planned out, scheduled, breakfast this, lunch this, dinner that. No, I really just want you guys to find ways to adapt it in your own life. Part of the challenge is that it's gonna make you look at ingredients differently. You're gonna look for the things that you shouldn't be eating. And I just think that it's a really good way to reset and change your lifestyle and start thinking about the important things rather than just buying out of necessity and doing things mindlessly. It's really gonna make you think about what you're doing, think about what you're eating, really start to get to know the benefits of the foods that you're eating and what they can provide to you rather than just eating them for no purpose. A lot of these elimination diets that I see online or that other people are doing and doctors are doing are awesome, but they do it for 30 days. I personally think that within just a few days, you're gonna see a difference in your mood, energy, skin, weight, etc. So I think that 2 weeks is more than enough time. And within that 2 weeks, it's up to you to obviously decide, do I want to continue doing this? Do I want to maybe just adapt one of the things that I took from this? And everybody's going to adapt it differently. And of course, we will do this challenge over and over again just to always be resetting the body. I live this way about 90% of the time. So gluten, dairy, refined sugars, packaged foods, hydrogenated oils, cured deli meats, things like that. They're really not part of my vocabulary or my diet. With that being said, I do definitely, you know, here and there have a bit of gluten, have a little bit of dairy. I don't overdo it. I like to like live balanced, and if I want to have a bite of something, I have a bite. I don't deprive myself ever. But during this challenge, I do 2 weeks solid, really like 100% everything, not 90%. I'm doing the challenge with you guys. I need a reset after the summer. In the summer, I eat out a lot more, I indulge a lot more, I travel more. So, you know, it's just a really good way to get me back on track for the school year. I always laugh because I'm 31 and I'm by no means in school anymore, but everything for me like still goes in like school terms. Like September is like the start of a new year for me, not January. So it's a great way to start the new year. The dates of this challenge are September 5th to September 19th. So right after Labor Day weekend. So basically go crazy Labor Day weekend, drink, eat, enjoy. And then September 5th, challenge starts, goes until the 19th. I'm gonna just stop going on and on about it because you've heard me go on and on about it enough, probably on Instagram. But I'm now gonna get into all the things that I want you guys to eliminate, basically the guidelines of the challenge. And like I mentioned, most diets will tell you what to eat. I'm gonna tell you what not to eat. So you guys can work it into your budget, your lifestyle, your routine, in any way that you see possible and fit. And I would love for you to actually stick to every single one of the things that I tell you to eliminate, because there's really a reason for it. Like, these are all common allergens, common things that we all really have intolerances to and may not know. So I would just love for you guys to do all steps and all eliminations that I want you guys to eliminate. I want you guys to keep one thing in mind. My sort of theory when it comes to food is that if it hasn't lived, if it hasn't grown from a ground, if it hasn't grown off a tree, don't eat it. If it was made in a factory or in a plant somewhere, don't eat it. Know what you're eating. Eat for a purpose. Don't just eat to eat, but eat to get benefits from your food. That's really something that I changed, and my thought process changed years ago, and it's been really beneficial to me because you can eat for beauty, you can eat for benefits, you can eat for any issue that you have to heal yourself. With that being said, the first thing that I want you guys to eliminate is gluten. So gluten is like big talk these days. So many people say gluten-free this, gluten-free that. People think that gluten-free is a diet to lose weight. That really annoys me because that's really, really not the case. Number one, I'm not celiac. Another story altogether. That's not what I have. Celiac disease is people who legitimately cannot digest gluten. Your body like rejects it, and it's very painful, and you can get really sick from eating gluten. So that's one thing. And about 1 in 20 people have celiac disease today, whereas back in the day, I don't think anyone had it. What I'm really talking about is gluten intolerances. That's what I have. If I go somewhere and I eat a lot more gluten than usual, I will instantly get a flare-up of eczema. So I know directly that I'm intolerant to gluten. My skin will automatically have a reaction to eating gluten, not to mention my digestion. Like, I'll eat gluten, I'll instantly get bloated. So that's one thing that I know I have an intolerance. You may cut the gluten, add it back into your diet, and then all of a sudden be like, oh my God, I have an intolerance to gluten. Doesn't mean you can never eat gluten. It just means take a bite here or there, move on, and don't make it a day-to-day thing that's part of your diet. The other issue that I find that people have with gluten is that it really drains your energy, it makes you tired, and it makes you hold on to unnecessary weight, and you kind of don't know why, and that's because your body's really inflamed. So when you cut out gluten, I truly believe that within a week you will see a crazy difference. If you're someone who has any sort of skin issues, if you're someone who feels like you've really been holding on to weight and you just don't know why, I really believe that you will see a difference instantly when you cut out gluten. So what is gluten? Gluten is basically the sticky protein that's found in wheat. Currently, many food companies use gluten to stick and bind processed foods together. So the thing is that wheat at its natural form is actually great for you. I recently watched a little bit, I never got to finish it, a documentary called What is Wheat or What's with Wheat. It's a great documentary if you're more interested in learning a little bit more about gluten. Throughout time, obviously, wheat became big business. It's in everything. It became something that everyone was nourishing themselves with. Back in the day, it was thought that we weren't getting enough calories, we weren't getting enough energy in our day. So wheat was really like that way of like pumping us with energy and calories. And what happened is the food industry sort of started breeding and making this like fake wheat, basically with GMOs, genetically modified organisms. And the reality is that wheat used to grow till here naturally. Now wheat grows till here. Furthermore, wheats and grains are supposed to be sprouted. You're not supposed to just eat them like this. Our bodies cannot absorb them. There's all kinds of enzyme inhibitors in them that need to be released from sprouting. When you watch What's with Wheat, you'll see they show how like back in the day it used to take 3 days to make a loaf of bread. Today it probably takes like 30 minutes for these factories to make bread. So wheat really needs to be sprouted for our bodies to be able to absorb it better. Unfortunately, that is not the case today. The case today is that companies want to make money, things have to be quick. At the rate that, you know, production lines and grocery stores are buying stuff, they need to be producing all the time. So it's not done in a safe way for us. And unfortunately, our bodies are like, what's going on? What is this? It's not really food. It's like this hybrid of things, and we don't really know what to do with it. So it comes out in our digestion, it comes out in issues in our skin, and it causes a lot of inflammation in the body. Gluten is also one of the like #1 gut microbiome killers, meaning that it will make these like little holes in our gut lining, and it will go into our bloodstream, and it creates a ton of inflammation and a ton of health issues. So the first thing I want you guys to eliminate is gluten. Not gonna go deeper than that into it because you guys can do your own research. Things that you really wanna look for in ingredients and things you wanna eliminate are really anything that says wheat, rye, barley, spelt, even kamut. Although those can be like more ancient grains, often they're not sprouted. I, on the challenge, talk about that I eat Ezekiel bread. Ezekiel bread does have wheat in it, but it is sprouted. So if you're eating sprouted grains that you know are sprouted, that's fine. If you're not celiac, it's fine because I digest it perfectly fine because the wheat has been sprouted properly, it's been taken care of properly, and my body absorbs and digests it. The next thing that I want you guys to be eliminating is dairy. Dairy is something that is just useless, to be honest. We don't need cow's milk, we don't need dairy. Actually, Canada recently just removed dairy as a food group from the Canadian Food Guide because it is useless to all of us. Just so you guys understand, the point of drinking cow's milk is for weight gain. That's why they suggest it to babies between the age of 1 and 3 because that is the time in your life where you gain the most amount of weight in the shortest amount of time. So if you guys are using dairy on the daily, you're pretty much asking for weight gain and you're asking for other issues. And I'm gonna go into why. #1, dairy is a highly inflammatory food. Even if you are buying the best quality, organic, no hormone milk, there is probably hormones in it. And what do you think happens when you're drinking cow's milk that has been pumped with hormones? It's then gonna throw off all of your hormones. That's really why skin issues and dairy are so related to each other, is because of the hormone imbalance that it causes on your body. Dairy products are filled with hormones. Our bodies are filled with hormones and they do not align. We are not the same species, so we should not be consuming their milk just like they wouldn't be consuming our milk. It just doesn't really make sense. And we have different hormones and they are unbalancing each other, and it's very detrimental to your health, to your digestion, to the inflammation in your body, and to everything else. Again, cutting out dairy is not about weight loss. Some people will write to me, okay, I know dairy is bad, but can I drink skim milk? No, skim milk is even worse. It's filled with powdered milk, it's filled with hidden sugar. It's actually worse for you than anything. If you were gonna choose to eat dairy or drink cow's milk, drink full fat cow's milk, you're better off. It's almost like a comparison to Coke and Diet Coke. Like, Coke is almost better for you to drink than Diet Coke and all the crap that's in the Diet Coke to make up for the flavor. Same thing with skim milk. Nothing about it is good, just cut it. People go on a whole thing about how you need your calcium and your vitamins. It's all bullshit. You get more calcium from green leafy vegetables than you do from milk, and they're better for you, and you get other vitamins on top of it. So I don't want to hear, oh, but I need this or I need these vitamins. Canada legitimately took it off of its food guide because there is no nutritional benefit. There is no need to have it in the day-to-day. So please, please cut the dairy. Even more am I passionate about cutting dairy than gluten because of the hormone factor and how much it throws off the hormones in your body and how much that affects the inflammation in your body, how much it affects your skin issues, your autoimmune disorders, and your gut lining. It's just terribly, really nothing good or beneficial about eating dairy unless you are a little baby. And even at that, I'm not even sure if that's useful, but I don't know enough about it to have an opinion. So if you are over the age of 3 years old, cut the dairy. And if you don't want to cut the dairy, just do it for this challenge to see how awesome you feel and to see if there's any difference in your skin or in your mood, in your hormone balance, and things like that. A lot of people will write to me, okay, I know dairy is bad, but can I eat yogurt? Yogurt definitely is a better alternative when it comes to dairy because it's fermented, so it's, you know, taken care of a little bit better. However, for the 2 weeks, please just cut out all dairy, no yogurt, no milk, no butters, no cheeses. I know that the cheese one's hard, but cheese is probably the worst of all of them. So just please, for the 2 weeks, cut the dairy. The next thing that I want to talk about is a really big one, and it's something that I feel like everyone should already do on the day-to-day. This isn't just like a challenge thing. This is something where I really recommend that none of us do this. This is really what's causing the obesity crisis in North America, and the bulk of most people's issues and disease, and that's processed food and processed sugars and refined flours and all of these things. Just to go back to what I said in the beginning of this, if it hasn't lived, if it was made in a factory, we're not eating it. So if you go get a box of crackers and you're like, okay, maybe I can eat this on the challenge, and then you see wheat, well, you can't eat it. If you see any sort of, you know, butter or milk or sugar or anything listed in there, you can't eat it. There is nothing beneficial about it. It's empty calories, it's air, and it's actually really just all chemicals. So why would you want to eat it anyway? It's literally causing inflammation in the body and all kinds of energy issues, hormone issues, skin issues. So we're cutting it. So packaged foods, I know it seems like pretty obvious, but for some of you it's not, so I'm just gonna put it out there. Cereals, any form of cereal, unless it is gluten-free, dairy-free, refined sugar-free, yada, 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 then go ahead and eat it. Including hot packaged cereals, like the little oatmeal packs, those are terrible, filled with refined sugars, filled with chemicals. Crackers, cookies, candy, snack bars. You guys ask me all the time to do a bar segment, I will, but most bars are filled with sugars. So snack bars, really just like cut those, you know, like those Nature Valley bars, things like that. You gotta cut it. Packaged breads, the whole grain kind, filled with sugar, filled with wheat, filled with all kinds of additives, and it's terrible for you. Sweetened yogurt, sweetened dairy products. We already know that you're not eating dairy, but I'm just putting it out there for like future and for also you guys to know. If you guys see a yogurt and it's like, oh, it's peach flavor, like, what do you think that is? You think they're actually taking peach and embedding it? No, they're putting in like chemical peach flavoring. So it's not good for you. It's chemicals, which over time, what do you think that does to your body? It creates inflammation, which turns into disease. So we're cutting that. This is a big one. Bottled sauces, condiments, ketchup, barbecue sauces. They're filled with sugars. I use one barbecue sauce. It's called Dad's Famous Barbecue. It's organic. And it's sweetened with honey. It's sweetened with organic, natural honey. So that's okay, but look at your ingredients. You really, when it comes to this part of the challenge, processed foods, anything packaged, you really want to be looking at the ingredients. You really want to make sure that sugar, corn syrup, fructose, glucose, none of that is on your ingredient list. It's just not okay, and it's not challenge acceptable. Also, when you eat out in restaurants, which I'm trying to, on this challenge, get you guys to limit to maybe 1 or 2 times a week. However, again, it's your lifestyle. You got to do what you want to do, but you got to be asking for sauces on the side. You need to be asking them not to put butter onto your fish or your meat or whatever it is that you're eating, because restaurants, like, they're wonderful, but their goal is not to keep you healthy. Their goal is to make your food taste as delicious as humanly possible, which means that they're probably using gluten, dairy, packaged foods, refined sugars, and all of that stuff. So you gotta be really annoying, like I am, and be like, is there butter? Is there this? Is there that? And tell them that you're doing a challenge, and be like, hey, you should get on it too. Go watch her YouTube video. Kidding. The next thing that I want you guys to cut out, I talk about a lot on my Insta story, are hydrogenated oils. So what are hydrogenated oils? Really, the one that I'm most concerned about are vegetable oils, such as canola oil, which at its base, at its core, similar to wheat, is not even a bad thing. The problem is that it's been broken down so many different ways that it's no longer canola oil. I don't even know what it is. It's just this like hybrid fake oil that's terrible for you. And when it's heated at high temperatures, it's even worse for you, and it becomes extremely toxic to our bodies. And so many of us cook with it, and you don't even know why you're cooking with it. Maybe it's because it's cheaper, maybe because it's like so readily available and you just see it everywhere, but it's horrible for you. So I highly suggest that if you are someone who's using canola or vegetable oils on the daily, you gotta cut it. Furthermore, you need to be careful with the oils that you guys are cooking with, primarily olive oil. Every oil sort of has a set smoke point or heat point, and once it goes beyond that point, it starts to sort of break down and it's no longer what it's supposed to be. So olive oil, which is such an amazing beneficial oil when eaten raw, when it's cooked beyond a certain temperature, like I think it's 300 or 325 degrees Celsius, it's no longer really that healthy. It starts getting broken down and it can become toxic. And once in a while it's okay, but over time, to be eating that all the time and cooking with that all the time, it can be extremely toxic on your body. So what I want you guys to be looking for are things like avocado oil, which has a smoke point of 450 degrees Fahrenheit. I want you guys to be looking into coconut oil, ghee, grapeseed oil. Those 4 are really great options to be cooking with. Everything else in terms of like cooking and heating it at high temperatures, I'd really like you guys to eliminate during the challenge and in life, but for now in the challenge. And then olive oil, try to use it more, for salad dressing, putting over vegetables or things like that, but really try not to heat it up at too high of a temperature. The last thing that I really want you guys to cut out during the challenge are any sort of like deli or cured meats, any meats that are really generic from a grocery store. I realize that it's a lot to ask for you guys to be buying organic meats. So, do what you can within your budget, but the reality is that generic meats are filled with hormones, they're filled with all kinds of chemicals, and they're just really, really bad for you. So you guys can do your research further. Again, I realize that they're super expensive, and I realize that I cannot, force anyone to do anything, but I really just want to reiterate and show how important it is to really be buying good quality organic meats. But I really think that the quality of the food that we eat and put into our body really depicts how our health is going to be. It really prevents a lot of illness in the future. So my suggestion, and I really would hope that you guys will try to eat organic at least for that week. You will taste a difference in the quality of your food as well if you do eat organic. But again, it's totally up to you. I can't make you do anything. I just really want to stress how important I think eating organic meats are for everything that I've mentioned to do with like hormones, especially when it comes to animals. They're really, really, really injected with hormones. They will affect your hormones and your skin and just everything in the body. So if you can, really try to eat organic meats. If not, try to get like grain fed at least, or just try to do something a little bit better than what you usually do. Another thing is that during this challenge, and just for actually the past few weeks, I've been trying to incorporate a few more vegan meals into like my dinner time schedule. Breakfast and lunch, it's not hard for me to go a little more vegan. At dinner time, I'm trying to incorporate at least 2 meals a week that are vegan. So you guys will see that on my like dinner plan. So look out for that. And if you guys are wanting to try it out also, I just think that eliminating eating so much meat and fish all the time is a good thing to think of. Plant-based proteins are so good for you and super beneficial, even more beneficial than meat and animal protein. So that's definitely something that I want to work toward for myself, and I'm on my own journey with that. But I would love for during this challenge you guys to do it too. So just try 2 or 3 nights a week to do some sort of vegan meal. Also, I really want you guys to be cutting out deli meats. That's processed. They're filled with nitrates. They're filled with all kinds of chemicals, all kinds of sodium. So for the 2 weeks, just cut out all deli meats, any cured meats, prosciuttos, bacon, I don't know. Cut out the cured meats, deli meats. Generally, if it's like a good salty meat, you gotta cut it for the 2 weeks. So once in a while, it's more than okay to have it, some bacon here or there, or have a turkey sandwich here or there. But in general, it's really not that great. It's really filled with a lot of chemicals and nitrates. So for the 2 weeks of the challenge. So now I've really gone over all the things that I want you guys to eliminate. I'm gonna be posting pictures on my page of all the things that I just went over that you can't eat, what to look out for and be careful for. And then I'm also gonna post the things that you can eat. Not gonna go too deep into that in this segment because basically if it doesn't have any of the things I just mentioned, then it's okay to eat. So just cross-reference, make sure you're not eating gluten, dairy, refined sugars, packaged foods, processed foods, any hydrogenated oils, or any cured meats, or hopefully non-organic meats or fishes. So that's really the guidelines of the challenge. Something else I really like to suggest during the challenge is to do your lemon water every morning. If you're unaware of why I do lemon water or what all the benefits are, you can scroll down and watch my lemon water video from a few weeks back. I will link below all the things that I just said, like to cut out and all the things to really watch out for in the description below. I would also love if you guys would start incorporating a probiotic into your daily routine. You can have 2 of them with your breakfast every morning. It's a great way to help build your gut microbiome and just make everything work better. And it's just gonna push you towards your goal quicker. So that's something I definitely would suggest if you can. Again, everything within your own means and what works for you. It's just something that I'm going to suggest. Part of this challenge is that we're really detoxifying and getting rid of toxins in our body. So this is going to aid those toxins in getting out quicker. So adding the lemon water in the morning with the sea salt, doing the probiotics are going to be really, really helpful to get you to your goal quicker. I have created a Facebook group also from the last challenge. So it's just KGMTL challenge on Facebook. I will link it in the description below as well. And again, everything will be on my Instagram page at KGMTL. And during the challenge, I'll do like daily check-ins, how I'm feeling. I'll share other people's success stories. If you guys want to do like a before and after picture, that's always awesome. I love to see that, and I would love to share it with other followers. Again, we will definitely do the challenge again in the future. This challenge starts September 5th to September 19th, and I'm so excited to do it with you guys. If you like this video, thumbs up. Please, any questions or comments below, and please guys subscribe to my channel. See you next week.